Hey, what's up grinders? I am Zard and today in this Gemtor 4 video we are going to talk about the 7.4 update Pillars of Light. So, I know I'm a little bit late with this video, but I prefer to check things out first instead of doing a half-assed guide in a rush. Um, Before we hop into the details of this update, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you find this video useful, you could also share it with your guildmates. And also, I want to mention that I use timestamps in my video, so if you want to jump straight to the topic that interests you, please feel free to do so. Alright. So first we are going to talk about Blood Frenzy. So there can be 2 Blood Frenzy regions each day, and you can see those red pillars, and that means that Blood Frenzy is active on those regions. Blood Frenzy is active on 2 regions per day, but never in Central Spire, so that's good to know. And in Blood Frenzy regions, the enemies in that region get a 50% skill point buff. Now, this is pretty big deal actually. And the main thing with this Blood Frenzy is that you earn double the VP and region bonus silver marks in that region. So that's really the main thing with this Blood Frenzy. For example, if we go over here, now this amount over here will be doubled up, and those VP points will be accumulated pretty quickly in these Blood Frenzy regions. So another new addition with this update are those monoliths that you see surrounding of the quick battle kingdom, let's say that. For example, here is Tinker's Cavern, Dragon Halls, Guardian Maze, Knight's Enclave, all of these monoliths, and all of these monoliths give different types of buffs to your teams. So instead of going through all these, we could just go here in the left side, and all the buffs are going to be listed over here. And there are plenty of different kind of buffs. You could say there are attack buffs and defense buffs. Some are great, some not that great. And depending on your player level and the teams you can use, some of these are actually really great. For example, this Krystenhall monolith buff over here gains 4 magic for each yellow ally. Now it says in the bottom that select a buff to be taken to that monolith, and we are going to press X now here in the PlayStation, and we are brought here in the Krystenhall. Now I've already done some of these battles, and for example, the first battle, the number 1 over there, gains 1 magic for each yellow ally. That is the easy battle, it is against level 20 opponent. Then the next battle is against level 40 opponent, and after defeating that you gain 2 magic for each yellow ally. And the third battle is against level 80 opponent. And the fourth battle is against level 150 opponent, and the last battle is against level 300 opponent, and after defeating that you gain 5 magic for each yellow ally. And as each victory will add 1 hour duration to this buff in all PvP battles, if you quickly do these fights you have 5 hours to enjoy that magic buff. And we could actually talk about how to do these battles. So in the upper right side you see these sigils. These are monolith sigils, and you use these to fight these monolith battles. Now there are 2 ways to get these sigils. One way is to go to the PvP shop and buy these sigils by using your gold marks. Now I really don't recommend to do this. You have a better use for your gold marks, trust me. The better way is actually fight against those wall hogs that appear in random PvP fights. They are basically like wall ravens. When you defeat them you get 2 monolith sigils. And it's pretty important to mention that those monolith sigils, you can stack them up to 10 sigils, and no more than that. And if you have 10 monolith sigils, those wall hogs won't appear in the PvP battles. When you use one of your monolith sigils, then the wall hog starts appearing again. this is pretty important info. So after defeating those wall hogs, you get those Monolith Sigils that you can use here to battle here in the Monoliths. So I've already done 4 fights here in the Krystenhall because I really want that magic buff to my yellow troops. And you can also see that triangles over here on the battles 3 and 5. And when I press triangle, it says victory talisman, and those talismans double the VP from battles. We are going to talk about that in a moment. First, we are going to do this last battle here in Krystenhall to activate all of the yellow magic buffs. And these are actually a little bit of hard fights already. The enemy is going to have plenty of HP, so we are trying to entangle them and actually just survive at this case. Their first extra turn, and rocking pretty nicely, we could take that as well. Now I think I'm going to try to some devouring, which happened, that always speeds up, and King Mikhail explode that wish gem over there. Let's see if we can get another devour. Yes, working pretty nicely. Let's see if we can survive. I want to get rid of Wisp. That charm is going to kill me very badly. Can we survive? That is a big question. Let's see. I think we are going to... Yes, finally. Wow. Like I said, pretty tough battles. Gotta be careful. Maybe we try this. Then we do damage over there. And I'm sweating over here a little bit. I don't want Aurora to get buffing going. How about if we do this? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, now would be a very good time for skulls. Spell damage isn't that big. Skulls, please. Thank you. Wow. You get us wet here in the Urska Kingdom. Probably a good idea to mention that where the monolith you are fighting is located, that kind of teams you have to use. For example, Krystenhall here is located here in the Bay of Stars that has Urska region this week, so you have to use Urska troops in that kingdom. So that is something to keep in mind. But the good thing is that now we have that magic buff running for almost 5 hours, and we have 5 magic for each of our yellow allies. And now that we have our yellow buff active and we got those victory talismans, we are heading back to the yellow blood frenzy region, Adania. And we check the battles, and here is pretty nice VP amount, 64 VP from battle. Now what you could do now is to go to the left side and edit those talismans. Here you see all your talismans, and the victory talisman are going to be here in the bottom. So we are equipping those, and now we are going to get triple amount of VP from the battles here in this region. Now keep in mind though that when we finish the battle, and let's assume that the next battles have very low VP amount, you could just go here and edit the talismans and remove the victory talisman, because we don't want to use that precious victory talisman on low VP battles, right? But we are going to equip it for this 64 VP battle, and let's see how we fare against the Ranger and Company with 50% buff, remember that. So certain enemies can be very brutal. For example, if the enemy has Takshaka, it is going to deal absolutely massive damage. Very slow start, but I think those wildcards are going to get our Stellaryx going, and we are dealing massive 228 damage to all enemies, all because of the yellow buff. For example, as Stellaryx has a triple magic plus 6 damage to all enemies, that is why we are getting plus 60 damage to all of our Stellaryx costs. Now check that out, 270 VPs from just a single fight. I think this is pretty good idea how you use those victory talismans. Now, for example, here 34, 36, 47, I think I'm going to just unequip the victory talisman and do battles over here without the talisman. And again, when we see a high VP battle, we could equip that victory talisman. So what does this update change then, though? Well, not really much. I think most of the community treat this PvP as a kind of mandatory evil, and they usually just do that 6.5k VP per week, collect all their rewards, those gold marks and silver marks, and call it a day. However, those can be done now a little bit quicker if you have great teams for that when you use these blood frenzy regions. Sometimes they are great, sometimes they are bad, and it's something to keep in mind that if the blood frenzy regions are in a bad regions, for example, let's say Suncrest over here and maybe this Urska over here, it's probably a good idea to skip that day and not do those blood frenzy fights. However, there has been some small tests already in the community, and even though if the teams are slow, the blood frenzy regions are still going to generate more VP than if you used some speedy team here in the central spire. Of course, this has lots to do with your current level, the teams you are using, etc. But I think this blood frenzy is a very good add-on for the new update, for sure. So those are my thoughts about this new PvP update. Let me know in the comments what you think, and always remember to subscribe and comment and like this video. As off. Peace out.